Welcome back, everybody, to the Hearthstone Legendary Series week number 7. Two quarterfinals have finished, and we have two semifinalists deserving of their place, and we have StrifeCro versus PinpingHo coming up next. Now, this one is really interesting to me because I think StrifeCro has had one of the hottest streaks in Hearthstone yet for himself personally. He's always had those top 8 finishes, but very recently he's had a couple of wins in tournaments even. Doing really well in Kingwin, going far in the G2A Hearthstone Masters, and even making a finals run at DreamHack. So for about a month and a half, maybe even 2 months, StrifeCro was on fire. Now, can he carry that over to the Legendary Series here against PinpingHo, one of the most consistent open players that we have?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this match a lot. StrifeCro has definitely been on a great run recently. Player that's been around since the beginning of the scene. It's just great to see him having a good couple months and yeah, performing well. And he always has very innovative decks. It's cool to see the things he's bringing out with GVG now. I remember at DreamHack actually, he's one of the only players, actually the only player that I heard talking up Dr. Boom. He really said that was like his favorite card spoiled. He said that was gonna be really good. And you know,
he was like, that card's insane. Everyone's like, and he's like, no, dude, it's crazy, Dr. Boom, blah blah blah, and no one would believe him.
So yeah, I'm excited to see his decks. Mage again.
He is truly ahead of the meta in almost every capacity.
So Mage is the StrifeCro is one of the few players I think that would actually play Control Mage. Like Duplicate, Annoy, Tron, and Stable Ghoul, just a grindy, attrition-based deck. So I'm excited to see some of that kind of play because that's a Mage deck that almost no other player would bring into a tournament.
Right.
We saw a variant of that at DreamHack. That was before GVG, but definitely got a lot of new tools with the expansion. Warlock Mirror, of course, once again, a resident sleeper. Then we got Druid Paladin, which I'm excited to see again. PinpingHo, of course, bringing Paladin, a deck that I think is very underrepresented. Good to see him bringing that back. But Shaman versus Mage, I have no idea how that'll go, honestly.
Yeah, and I think it always goes upon what you say. Like, it depends on what kind of Mage he's brought. StrifeCro does favor that control style of Mage. But, I mean, that was what we said right before he won that Kingwin tournament with the Mech Mage that people weren't expecting at the tournament. And he just kept building up tempo play after tempo play and then just burning his opponent to death with like mechanical Yetis and Goblin Blast Mages. So it's one of his favorite classes for sure. I think that's a mark of a great player that Mage is a good class for them.
Oh, Fatigue, boys.
And it looks like it could be the Fatigue Mage, or at least a very defensive Mage that has Echo of Medivh.
Healbot and Sheep, yeah, it's got to be. It's just got to be Fatigue. So PinpingHo, how do you mulligan against Mage? Is it aggro? Is it control? Yeah. You just never know.
I think you just have to value your curve and your board here as the Mage. Although I feel like if you're worried about the aggro, you definitely have to have like that Lightning Storm.
He is going to keep the Chow. Alright, so Hex, of course, is one of the better counters to Duplicate. Hex their creature and then give them 2 frogs. So it doesn't seem like it'd be great against a defensive deck, but that definitely might have some applications in this matchup.
Is there a better counter to Duplicate than Hex?
Flare. Kezan Mystic.
Oh. I guess so. Touché. Touché.
Hex isn't bad, though. Alright.
So this is the deck that we saw from PinpingHo yesterday, too. He has Power Mace. A card that a lot of players thought it would be really good. Just that the fact is Shaman can't really support Mech that well compared to other classes. Then again, you don't need to pepper your entire... Or you don't need to flood your entire deck with Mech if you just pepper it with some cards here and there, like that Pilot Shredder, Harvest Golems.
Yeah.
You actually still have a pretty effective weapon.
Definitely. I'm actually a big fan of the way he built this deck. The thing about it that's been most exciting to me is I think he cut the 1-mana removal. I don't even think I've seen a Rockbiter out of this deck. I think he does play at least Rockbiter. But yeah, there's no bolts, there's no crackles.
Urshok.
There's Urshok, yeah, but no bolts, no crackles. That's the important thing. None of the overload removal. So just the ones that don't mess with your curve at all, which makes a lot of sense.
Are you sure this is Fatigue Mage? He's got Mirror Entity.
Not anymore. Now he's got Cairn, Azure Drake. Looks like it is just Control Mage with Echo of Medivh, which is an interesting card, I guess. It's kind of like Duplicate, right? Like in control matchups, it doesn't just draw you cards, but it makes cards. So if you go to a Fatigue War, you have more resources to work with than usual.
Ooh.
The hard counter.
PinpingHo, he actually attacked a little bit too fast and missed 1 damage.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
okay,
no. This is a play I make a lot, you know. When you make a slight mistake, you do something a little too quickly, then
Right.
then you make the play that makes it look like it was on purpose.
Right.
It's okay. I can respect that.
Well, there's only one play this turn for StrifeCro. It involves using his hero power. It's either he wants to tag a minion, or if he wants to activate his own explosive sheep.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 different pings he could go with here. He can take out the Searing Totem, he can ping his own sheep, or he could just ping the Flame Tongue and let the sheep live. That would make it vulnerable to Earth Shock, so I'd expect StrifeCro to shoot the Searing Totem, I think, and then play his sheep, if I had to guess.
Every time I guess what StrifeCro does, though, I feel like he always tries to go for a little bit more the aggressive / greedier play. That was his downfall at BlizzCon ultimately. Like, he didn't play around a Circle of Healing combination, just got blown out. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him explosive sheep and then ping the Flame Tongue Totem here.
What to do?
Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Then again, all those plays have some merit. It's all about how you want to scale the damage. He goes for a safe play. Alright,
Okay.
good for you, man. Good for you.
Makes sense. Time for Piloted Shredder to come down, I think. Not seeing a much better play than that. It's going to be a lot easier for StrifeCro to take care of that Flame Tongue than it is for PinpingHo, just by virtue of the hero powers. But StrifeCro definitely wants to be developing 5 drops for the next couple turns.
Which is best here? Also important to note, StrifeCro does have Flame Strike, and that AoE is so devastating for Shaman especially.
Yeah, one of the best cards to have against Shaman for sure. I expect to see a Sludge Belcher here, just because of how ineffective all the other options are.
Agitate dies, and you don't really gain the card advantage, it's just to dig deeper in your deck. And of course, Antique Healbot is not useful at all here, so it pretty much seems like Sludge Belcher just by lack of better option. Iron Beak Owl. That's so StrifeCro. Oh man, actually you kind of failed to realize how awkward the situation is. Because the Iron Beak Owl's silences, so the Death Rattle is no longer into play. But more importantly, it's like you can't, like the owl challenges the body of it.
Well, yeah, but you just attack the Flame Tongue.
Right, but then that means the owl lives, and the hero power alone can challenge it too. It's just like, it's just funny. It's
Yeah.
like an awkward situation for the Pilot Shredder.
Definitely. I guess he doesn't really want to play Cairn turn 6 anyway, because he hasn't seen a single Hex yet. So his thinking is, okay, I'll play Owl this turn, and then play Belcher next turn after the Shredder's already been silenced. It won't just trade off for Sludge Belcher on its own, since Flame Tongue Totem will be dead.
It's always a little painful to play off curve, because of course throughout the course of the next couple turns he might even float 2-3 mana. But we'll see how StrifeCro approaches it. I mean, he's always one of those players that's so interesting to watch, and it's honestly pretty hard to cast him because I never feel like I can crack his mindset.
Definitely think we'll just see a Fire Elemental here. There's a lot of, I mean, there's a few other options, but it just seems like the cleanest one. Alright, and Shaman's going to be pretty far ahead on board.
Will this Flame Tongue Totem ever be relevant? That's what I want to know.
Well, he's going to play Sludge Belcher, which will get the buff, but PinpingHo has the Hex for that. Frog is going to have to attack, though, if he goes that route.
The Frog will have 2 attack. That's hilarious.
He's going to have to Power Mace the Frog.
Power Mace, and he has the Annoyatron. Antique Healbot.
That is really surprising.
Is he setting up for a Flame Strike next turn? Because he's
if
going to
he
hope...
heal lots, he can't ping the Fire Elemental, though. Huh. I did not expect that play at all.
What did I tell you, man? StrifeCro's one of the hardest players for me to like trying to tap into his mindset. I mean, it's one of those things where in reflection you can always analyze the play, but predicting him is one of those really difficult things. You know that octopus that predicts like the Super Bowl every year and is like eerily correct?
There's a Super Bowl predicting octopus.
Yeah.
So every time we cast, I learn something new about the world, whether that's egg crises or
Yeah,
You know.
sports betting. But I don't think he could correctly predict a StrifeCro move.
Okay.
I'm just going to go out on the limb
That's right. I learned something new. Alright, well, StrifeCro can just go ahead and trade here with the 4-3. Keep Fire Elemental at 5 health. It's very important. At least for one more turn. Once StrifeCro has access to 9 mana, he can go ahead and Flame Strike and just ping Fire Elemental, so he won't have to... Won't really matter if it's topped off on health or not.
But he is taking a significant amount of damage.
Yeah. Alright, well, Power Mace gets the clean kill, and Flame Strike here, not too effective at all. StrifeCro definitely getting punished for that Antique Healbot play. I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that one was incorrect. No offense to StrifeCro, but that one seemed like...
Too out of the box, creative.
Yeah, I just don't see any benefit to it compared to any of the other options, right? Like, if you just play Belcher, wasn't that just better in every way?
I think he wasn't expecting Power Mace.
Wasn't expecting a 3 damage card from the Shaman.
Well, specifically, Power Mace.
It could have been like Bolt or Rock Biter or
Sure.
another Fire
Actually, another
Elemental.
Fire Elemental would have also been okay, too.
Well, he is staring down a pretty tough board to deal with. He needs to somehow maneuver this game in a way that Flame Strike catches him up. It's going to be Sludge Belcher now, and he's going to get rid of the bubble instead of pinging the Fire Elemental.
I guess he doesn't want the buff to Power Mace to translate over to the Neutron.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Well, geez. There's so much damage here. Let's calculate real quick. So if you hex the Sludge Belcher and get past it, you have 6, 4, that's 10, plus 4, it's 14, plus the Power Mace, that's 17. Oh my gosh.
I think you do it, right? Force the heal. You've already seen one heal bot. He doesn't have Elexstrasza mana. You have the Fire Elemental for lethal.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fire Elemental is the lethal push. Seems pretty good to me, honestly. I wonder if he's considering Lotheb to lock him out spell-wise, though.
And isn't it like 19 damage, actually?
Is it? 14, 17. Oh, I think it's 17 damage.
If you hex and trade a Neutron and then attack base.
Because then it would have been 8 damage from Fire Elemental, 6 from Pilot, that's 14, plus the weapon is 17. Where does he get the extra 2 damage?
The Shredder.
Shredder has 6 damage.
6, 4, 3. The 2 from the Power Mace, right?
3 from the Power Mace.
Plus the Death Rattle on it.
Oh, but there's no guarantee that it goes on the Pilot Shredder. It might go on the Neutron.
Well, if you trade the Neutron first, because there's Flame Tongue, so it's a 2-1 frog.
Oh, you're right. Oh, I forgot about the 2-1 frog.
What to do?
He actually drew healing. But oh man, that Lotheb.
I don't know if that
Flame
healing
Strike.
matters. It's just
Yeah.
there's too much damage on board. The Shaman pressured the mage out of the game.
Yeah, well played by PinpingHo. Definitely locked him out there.
Yeah.
And the Shaman deck, I don't think, have we seen it lose yet? It's been performing.
Not PinpingHo's. I mean, he did lose eventually, but in a previous week,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not this week.
Yeah.
Hey, Shaman's been very impressive so far.
Yeah, it's definitely performing well. Solid deck. I like the build of it a lot too, so definitely something I'll try out on ladder, I'm sure.
Yeah, seems to be a really good mixture, and I think it fits right up the alley too of Shaman, because it does rely on its flexibility to be aggressive or defensive, and I think it's able to incorporate those cards pretty effectively. I like it. Now we're going to go into game number 2 here from StrifeCro. It's and PinpingHo. It's Warlock versus Warlock. This matchup is really dependent on what classes these guys are bringing specifically, or sorry, what matchups they're bringing with Handlock or Zoo. I guess we haven't seen Handlock and Handlock in a while, so maybe we could go for that. I know you're always a big fan of that matchup.
Yeah, StrifeCro's a player who's played Zoo, he's played Handlock, he's up for both. I would not be surprised to see either list from him. PinpingHo, I think we've seen mostly on the Handlock side of things. So.
He also played Zoo yesterday, though.
Oh, okay. So I guess he's capable of mixing it up.
Oh, was he playing? Or maybe it was the other Taiwanese player, Roger, that was playing the Zoo. Actually, I think it was Roger.
Was Roger? Yeah,
So I think
PinpingHo.
PinpingHo was the Handlock player.
Yeah, so it might be a mirror. Definitely could see it going either way. I'm not sure. It's so hard to predict now, right, with these lineups, because before GVG, when you saw a class, you pretty much knew what cards are going to be in it, more or less.
Right.
Now there's just so many different ways of building each class that it's really tough to predict going into it what the matchup even is, who's favored, because until you see the mulligans.
More so, I mean, it's even harder to tell because they don't declare classes beforehand. We see the classes, but the players are picking up the pieces as they go along. All StrifeCro knows that there's no Shaman for next game, and all PinpingHo knows is that there's no Mage for next game. So there's going to be 8 other class possibilities.
So they're picking the lineup as they go along, or do they submit?
No. They pre-select it. It's just one of those things where, even though they submitted the lineup, they're not exactly sure what to expect until the game actually starts.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, well,
just like ladder. Just like
ladder, yeah. Warlock versus Warlock. I'm excited to see the game. We'll see. I want to see more Zoo mirrors. We had one yesterday, which was interesting. You don't see those that often in tournaments, honestly, as much as it comes up on ladder.
It's not truly reflective of ladder if people aren't playing a lot of Zoo, right?
Yeah. Even ladder doesn't have enough Zoo. I don't know, man.
You think so?
Underrepresented. Yeah.
What's the deck you see the most then? Because I see Zoo the most.
I see Hunter the most.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, you're probably farther along. Right now, I'm only like rank 4. I haven't actually gotten to the push for Legend this season right now. So
yeah.
You're probably seeing a lot more Hunter for the top lane.
Changes every day, right? Some days you'll see Fatigue Druid because it's on Reddit that day.
Sure, or Fatigue Mage or something like that. Yeah.
Well,
here we go. Game, or Pirate Rogue. Game number 2 is about to begin. Warlock versus Warlock. It's Zoo versus Handlock, and this time around, PinpingHo is going for Zoo. StrifeCro is going for the Handlock, and of course, does StrifeCro know it is? He mulligans and keeps the Ironbeak Owl. It's already a good sign that he has a hint that it's Zoo. And I think you just have to, right? Just because it to be defensive.
Going first against Zoo, I would never keep Owl, but it might be like Demon Lock. It's not guaranteed to be. No, this is more of a Handlock list. That's an interesting choice. I wouldn't have kept it myself, but...
Oh, I was always under the impression you want to keep Owl against Zoo.
Not when you go first, because when are you going to play it?
Well, just after you... Either you answer like the turn 1 Undertaker, or you silence your own Ancient Watch if you draw it.
No, I guess. Just play it out turn 2. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll see if he goes with the Watcher here. Looks like that is going to be the play. I'm always a fan of like aggressively mulling for a Molten Giant and then just
working backwards from there.
Yeah, just working with whatever you have at that point. That Abusive is a great draw. Wow. Because the trade is 1 drop for Ancient Watcher now. Which it doesn't necessarily have to do this turn, but I would. Just because it uses your mana, develops both your 2/1s.
Preemptively.
Yeah, you're going to kill it eventually anyway, because it's either getting taunted or Shadow Flame. Alright. Oh, he's going face.
Dang. That's so aggressive.
Just like ladder.
You like that?
Well, I wouldn't do it, but definitely reminds me of the decks I lose to at rank 10 and stuff. Just power overwhelming Leroy off the top. I'm raging because who plays Leroy and Zoo?
Right. It's like Leroy and Arcane Golem and 2 power overwhelmings.
Yeah, but they still have the perfect curve 1 through 5, even though those cards are in their deck. Oh, Hearthstone. Well, up to PinpingHo to get through this 4-5 now. I think he wishes he killed it last turn.
Well, I guess it's the same consequence either way. 5 damage given up to the Abusive Sergeant to flame it.
But he's losing the 2-1 now.
Yeah.
I think you'd rather have a 2-1 and have your opponent at a...
And more problematic is the Sun and Fury Protector that challenges whatever the Snipe Juggler that he puts out, so he gets to commit even more.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much have to trade for the Sun Fury, otherwise it kills the Abusive Sergeant for free, or the Juggler, one of the two. Silencing the Watcher definitely doesn't work here.
No. I mean, it allows you to go super aggro. How much damage? 10 damage, put him at 12. That's asking for a bad day. Not to mention you're coming up on turn 4, so Shadow Flame is a legitimate concern.
Alright, Abusive Sergeant gets in for 2. It's this is kind of what happens when you don't life tap as Warlock. You get these turn 4s where you're just not doing a whole lot. 1 card away. Yep. Well, gotta owl the Knife Juggler, I think. I don't think that owl was worth keeping.
Well, it's kind of unfair to say now, considering the start that the opponent had, but
Yeah, that's true.
at least Owl's doing something here, because the implosion on the other end would have been devastating.
Definitely.
StrifeCro needs AoE, or some way to...
StrifeCro needs Molten Giant is what he needs. 'Cause he's about to take a very large amount of damage. I'm definitely a big proponent of just playing like they don't have Molten Giant as the Zoo player. Almost always. The only decision here is, do you defend or do you implosion? Can't fault them either way. If you do defender, do you attack?
The Owl.
Yeah, do you attack the Owl? Do you attack the face? The most defensive play is to kill Owl and then just not attack with Abusive Sergeant.
Right.
But I don't think that's the way to go. I think if you're going to not attack like that, you should just implosion and then not attack. But
If you attack, if you like hold the attack and not do anything, it's just straight into Hellfire.
I like this.
Yeah.
I would have implosion and got face, but this is fine too.
Okay, Dark Bomb is an answer to this threat.
Yep. It's
But
gonna
then
keep him alive.
everything else is a little awkward. So is it big? You have to play the big game hunter.
I think so.
Then that gets destroyed by the implosion guaranteed.
Yeah. No AoE. I mean, you get a Sun Fury up Twilight Drake next turn, but it's not going to be very big because you're playing 2 cards here.
Well, also there's a the Twilight Drake will get silenced by the Iron Beak Owl.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the writing's in the wall here. I feel like unless StrifeCro picks a Molten Giant is still on the top of the deck as a way for him to end or to come back into the game here.
Yeah, it's always a card he can draw and just beat Zoo with. Well, it's the same stats, but not the same card. That is not going to do it.
He's still 1 damage off from PinpingHo. Needs to find a way to piece together 1 more damage.
Imagine if Implosion rolled a 3 or a 4.
Right.
It's got to be frustrating.
Oh, not enough mana.
Yeah.
Dang. Still, though. So, you clear the board, right?
I'm not sure if he kills Sun Fury or not. That's the tough part. I think you do kill it, but...
It's just a Shadow Flame, but I guess...
I mean, Handlock only has 3 cards, it's the thing. When you play Handlock that way, where you don't tap and you just play out your reactive cards as if you're playing against Hunter, you have a really hard time winning, because the only way you can actually swing the game back in your favor is Molten Giant.
Molten Giant is still on the draw. But
Black Knight.
that's it. Oh, man. I think StrifeCro's dead.
Yeah, it's going to do it. PinpingHo is going to take a 2-0 lead against StrifeCro. Yeah, qualifier players doing very well so far.
And that's going to be a very quick 2-0 lead. And once again, we might have the series end very quickly here right now. This could be the quickest day of the Legendary Series yet. And I was really hyped because I thought a lot of these matches would be super close.
Yeah.
But turns out they've kind of been one-sided so far. At least with StrifeCro's games. I haven't seen StrifeCro look like he was winning yet.
Yeah, Zoo doing Zoo-y things. The Shaman game was pretty rough, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But he is playing more defensive decks, you know, Double Defender, Vargas, Jiraxis, Handlock, Control Mage, Antique Heal Bots. Like, he's playing decks that are always going to look like they're behind pretty much until the later stages of the game. But, yeah, it's not gone too well so far. What is our last matchup going to be?
We have the Paladin versus the Druid, I think.
Yep, Paladin versus Druid. Now, this is a matchup that personally I think heavily favors Paladin, so this does not look great for StrifeCro. Of course, Druid is Druid. It can, it can win. Honestly, if it's Ramp Druid, I think Druid is favored. But if it's Fast Druid, then Paladin is favored.
It doesn't feel like StrifeCro would play Ramp Druid, though. I don't think I've ever seen him play Ramp Druid.
Yeah,
he favors definitely the faster, more aggressive Druid. He's the one who really likes using the Savage Roars.
Yeah, traditionally he's been playing those decks for sure. Sun Fury Protectors, Wild Growth. StrifeCro's AFK. Lost to Zoo. He's done.
Well, PinpingHo's been AFK too. One with Zoo.
PinpingHo, he's got the same wallpaper as what was the player's
Roger.
name? Roger, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
same team.
Yeah, I guess they're on the same house. Yeah. That's cool.
Or same poster.
I can't believe there's Hearthstone gaming houses in other parts of the world. That's
You
awesome.
can't believe it?
No,
This
it's
is
not.
esports.
It is esports. It got it faster
Are
than
you getting
NA.
some ideas now?
Well, we thought about a gaming house in March, but it was like we're like it's Hearthstone, you know. What's the point? But maybe. I offered it to the players. I was like, hey, you guys want a gaming house? Sure, you can have a gaming house. But
Gotcha.
I think they were
turned
on the
it down,
fence
though.
about it.
Yeah.
They're thinking about it. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. But gaming houses, they do help. They do help. For
Yeah.
sure. They're not like maybe it's not like the push that makes somebody into like the championship caliber player. Cause I mean, it is Hearthstone for a while.
Yeah.
But you know, it is definitely helpful, especially if they're putting out content. I know for the Taiwanese leagues, especially like ESL and whatnot, they do a lot of team events.
Yeah.
So it's important to travel together, and they like sit there in the studio, and one player gets up and plays, another they go back, another player gets up and plays.
That's
So
good.
they do like actual productions. It's important to have them all centralized. Not to mention Taiwan, China, Korea. A lot of those things are all centrally located around one area.
Yeah.
Versus the U.S. and Europe, you're spread out like really far away, hours and hours and hours. So
Yeah, a lot of the events for Hearthstone too are in Europe. We don't have that many productions in NA, aside from the wonderful legendary series here at ESL.
Oh,
Of course.
Thank you. Don't mind if I do. All right, so game 3, I think we're getting ready in just a second. StrifeCro and PinpingHo, I think they're back. But more importantly, StrifeCro needs to win 3 in a row. That's really tough. I have yet to see a full comeback more than once, I think, at the Legendary Series. We've had people tie it up multiple times, being down 0-2 to 2-2. But I think I've always seen the player who starts with the lead ends with it.
Yeah, people are starting to get a bit better at just closing out the series for sure. Yeah, a lot of decks. Once you get a lead, it's so hard to come back, right? Because the decks are getting much more refined. People are getting more comfortable with the tournament format. It's just once you're ahead, it's pretty tough to lose like 3 in a row. Very unlikely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's StrifeCro is a player who could do that.
Oh,
though.
definitely.
I think
yeah.
he's a great player.
If anyone could do it, it's definitely StrifeCro. So we'll see.
But is it variance finally catching up to our Cloud9 player? As StrifeCro, he's been on a super hot streak in the past few tournaments, but he's had to lose sometime. And PinpingHo has also been a guy who's been at it for a long time. One of the best players in Taiwan for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him play. Paladin, man.
And I think is this the first Paladin we've seen today?
Today, yeah.
That's so disappointing.
Wow,
man.
he's not
Paladin's
keeping
so
Keeper.
good.
Look at that. Well, I guess he's going to innervate the Shade on 1, so there's no reason to keep the Keeper. StrifeCro's going to take his time with it, as always. There you go. Shade comes out, so turn 1 Shade and X-Ram is so scary to see when you're on the other side of the table. Representing just so much damage. But yeah, double Knife Juggler draw is definitely...
That's one way to deal with the Shade if it juggles correctly.
Yeah, definitely. And StrifeCro probably will have to trade if once he sees the second one. StrifeCro's hand, on the other hand, is just so terrible. Swipe, Azure Drake, Harrison. You know, these fast Druid decks, when they innervate something out like turn 1 or 2 and then don't have the wild growth, you see this a lot. Where it's just kind of hero power over and over again. Casual 9 damage 2 drop from PinpingHo. StrifeCro's planning on hero powering that twice in a row.
Oh, this juggle is pretty important too. Oh, it misses. So that allows the free trade.
That's great for StrifeCro.
Yep.
Coghammer will be able to take care of that. We see Zombie Chow come down.
You have to kill this Night Juggler, right? Because of Muster for Battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too bad. We've seen PinpingHo get pretty unlucky in the past couple of days. It feels like there's a lot of roles that he's lost. And yet
Definitely.
he's still here fighting, so props to him.
I think he had that one zoo game. It was just one of the unluckiest games I've seen.
It was just like everything went disastrously wrong.
I think he juggled like 4 times to the face when his opponent had like 4 or 5 minions.
Yeah, and like they're like 1 health, right?
On the bright side, he made it through anyway, and even if he didn't, he would be in a Trollden video, so he's got that going for him. Well, it's either hero power or just a 4-mana 2/3 here from PinpingHo. One of the awkward things about playing Defender of Argus, of course, over something like Senjin.
Yeah. The stats have distributed out, so that way it could be a 4 or 5 taunt if you get full value, but oftentimes if your opponent controls the board, it's not the case. But Defender always has uses, even in the late game.
Yeah.
Sometimes Senjin is a little bit just, you know, like what are you gonna do? Senjin to a Dr. Boob later in the game? It's like, well, it doesn't really actually do much.
I like seeing this attack here. It's
Yeah.
not completely intuitive to put damage on a minion. That's you know, when it doesn't kill it,
Right,
but
especially a 1-mana minion, just that. But it's good, so that way it forces out 2 mana from his opponent and restricts his plays if he wants.
I think we are going to see a Druid of the Claw with Taunt here from StrifeCro, and I think we're going to see Chow go to the face. I mean, there's some merit to
Trading off
trading.
the 1/1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder-
Quartermaster wouldn't be that powerful.
I wonder how aggressive this Druid deck is. You see Chow, Harrison, Azure Drake, just kind of a mix of...
Right.
Maybe it's Ramp Druid.
Yeah, you know, Ascension Shieldmaster is something that immediately alerts, you know. It's the Zombie Chow, too.
And Ascension is also just like the natural predator of piloted Shredder metagames. So, like, for sometimes you see Ascension in like a normal, like non-Ancient of War Druid deck. Maybe this is the one with Mind Control Tax and Azure Drakes
Right.
and stuff. Like,
Kind of like just a wall druid, like a taunt druid that just keeps, that plays pretty much the same thing, but just has a little bit more taunts than normal. Like, even has Sludge Belcher.
yeah, or even just like a fast Druid that plays Senjin instead of Yeti.
Sure.
Right, Druid of the Claw is going to be following rules.
Be forever cleaning up the Silverhand recruits.
I would have liked to see a Coghammer attack there, I think. Black Knight for StrifeCro, definitely a good card against Paladin.
Is this a swipe turn?
It's pretty clean.
Yeah, there's 2 1/1s, so you don't have to spend your turn.
I would
off
play
of it.
Senjin,
Senjin
actually.
also is it, because it fits the curve.
This is better, because you hero power plus Chow into the 3/3, and then take out a Silverhand. Save your swipe, develop another minion. Seems a lot better.
Well, it looks like he's going to clean up the 1/1s instead. I think he wants to play around any kind of Quartermaster.
That's going to expose him to Consecrate, though. A little bit. There we go, Quartermaster drawn. I think we're going to see a Sylvanas here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good move on StrifeCro's end to clean up those 1/1s. Sylvanas always super impactful against Druids with strong boards, but
PinpingHo has a very clean kill on this 1/5, though. He might just take that instead. I like this play better as well. If you play the Sylvanas, you really want to kill the Druid of the Claw. And if you do that, then Sylvanas isn't getting value. No reason to rush it out either way.
one thing that is also probably in the back of his mind is how much damage he's taking.
The Druid can definitely deal too much damage out of nowhere.
Here we go, Black Knight.
Yeah.
He's
coming
on the
down.
streets, performing, asking for donations. And destroying people. Oh man.
Eldor Feastkeeper. I don't know where the line is, Dan. I don't want to get fired. Alright.
So yesterday, Arena and I were just at, we went to go get dinner after the Open Finals. And we saw a street performer who was drawing a pretty big crowd.
Well, we saw a crowd of people.
Yeah, yeah,
We heard
and they
some
were
Michael
cheering.
Jackson playing.
Yeah, there was Michael Jackson's Beat It. You know, I recognized that song from Zoolander. I was like, it's a cool song.
Dan assumed it was a dance-off or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like a street dance battle or something. There's a lot of people going, whoa, and clapping and stuff and going nuts.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was like, hey, Raina, instead of going over, like, to our car, I was like, why don't we go check out the thing? And you're like, yeah, let's do it, right?
Yeah, so we walk over there, and it's a guy in a jumpsuit. He's got some music playing. He's walking around the cloud. Apparently, from what we gathered, he's a professional jumper or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lines people up in, like, a tall, like, height order
Yeah.
and jumps over people in, like, a really long stance. And then he was like, okay, before the big finale, you know, this is going to be, you're going to see a black man fly. This is exactly his words.
Yep.
And we're like, okay, cool. It's not really, you know, about the race or anything. It's just that he was just saying, I'm going to fly.
So he lines up like 6 people or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is he gonna jump this? You know?
But before the actual finale jump, as it looks like they're going to play, Strife is going to control the board here. But before he does, he's like, all right, well, everyone usually runs, so I want to let you know that I'm a hardworking man. I'm going to be going to San Diego. I need you guys to help me pay for gas so I can drive down there. So he walks around for 5.5 minutes. Like, we're standing there awkwardly, waiting for this guy to go around collecting donations, which is not too much different from Twitch streaming, let's be real.
No, I've been there. Gotta hustle.
Yeah.
So he took my $1. That's fine.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to see the sick jump. So he pulls 4 of the Buffest guys from the crowd, has them pick him up and carry him over the line of people instead of jumping them while music's playing and he's wearing a Batman cape because Batman can fly apparently.
Yeah, he does this whole thing. Like, he puts some really badass old music up. He's getting the crowd hype and clapping with him. He's doing some nice dance moves with the guys. And he huddles them over and whispers. And 5 seconds later, they sprawl him out like an eagle and carry him over the 6 people. And then he puts his feet down, says thank you and good night, and he runs away with all the money. I said, that man. That man just sharked us.
Yeah.
That was my.
I'm never gonna get that $1 back. I can just.
I was like, he didn't even read my donation.
You can just imagine the amount of residency for a chat right now.
Meanwhile, there's like an exciting moment that StrifeCro just managed to secure the Harrison Jones.
It is Ramp Druid. It's Ramp Druid with combo and Harrison and Ancient of War and stuff. Just value Druid. Yeah, he calculates his mana, takes out the Tyrion, and of course Harrison doing what he does best, killing off Ashbringer. Instead of True Silver, we're going to see a Dr. Boom come down here. I'm surprised he managed to fit Force of Nature combo in this Druid deck. It's kind of like Ramp Druid with Azure Drakes and just like...
It has to be just one combo, right?
Yeah, definitely. So do we see the BGH here? I think so. BGH, Ancient of War.
Yeah. How's the sequencing, though? Are you going to try to activate the Boom Boss before the Ancient of War?
What about Savage Roar and trade?
Savage Roar. That leaves you... Yeah, you can still play Ancient of War.
How much damage is it with Druid of the Claw?
That's 9 plus 6.
Lethal,
that's
isn't
15. 16 damage. He has 16 damage right now.
Well, it's 7 plus... oh, yeah, it's 1 short. My bad.
Oh, it's crazy. He's so close.
Guess we're going to see him going face.
Yeah. Well, why play, like, super safe when you can just be a little bit more aggressive here? I like it.
Yeah, Paladin usually only plays 1 or 2 taunts. He's already gone through the Tyrion. He's getting in for 5.
Quality here is pretty nice, though. Because the boom bots that remain.
Yeah, definitely strong.
But, I mean, if they leave up 1 minion, like if they don't hit, he's going to use the True Silver to clear. Oh, it misses.
Jeez. That's so
oh!
unlucky. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, man. PinpingHo is definitely one of the unluckiest players in the tournament. Look at him. He's so sad. He looks like a guy who just got his $3 taken away from him by a street performer in Burbank.
Dan's just laughing at him. I sympathize, man. PinpingHo is my Taiwanese, like, spirit Hearthstone player or whatever. He's like the equivalent of me in Taiwan right now.
He's the Taiwanese Reynad.
Getting farmed by boombots. I'm so sad for him. That's so frustrating because you like do the math and all that. You complain to stream. They don't understand. Stream never understands. It's like 1 in 8 or something, or less than that. Poor guy.
It's funny too because the boombots had 1 job.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he also did a reasonable amount of damage. I think it got like 3 damage or something. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'd like to see an Innervate 7 drop here.
I think he's...
Is the plan to Innervate Hero Power, maybe?
Yeah, it could be.
In which case, why not just Shade, I think?
Then you Consecrate, you'd be vulnerable to Consecration.
Yeah, that's true. But then you still have the Druid of the Claw in hand to go through Savage Roar.
There actually are 3 different ways to play from this point on.
Definitely a tough turn to figure out. He is going to go for Wild Growth Cycle. I don't know if I like that.
Better go quick. Oh, he's combo. So that's another reason to put out the Shade of Naxxramas then. So StrifeCro able to piece together and navigate. And that'll put PinpingHo potentially on his last turn here, because all StrifeCro has to do is just combo next turn and not die, because it doesn't matter if the Shade of Next Hammer survives. There's 12 damage in just a Treants if you kill off the 1-2.
Yep.
Oh, wait, he has Lotheb. Oh my gosh.
He's going to go with it. Alright, True Silver I think is going to take out the Azure Drake, or maybe he even goes face.
Hold on. If he goes face... Oh, he's going for Azure Drake. That was an interesting thought, though. What if he did go for it? I guess he's afraid of a 9-mana swipe killing everything.
Yeah. Alright, Lotheb is down. Is Equality lethal?
Not if he heals himself with Ancient of Lore. I mean, StrifeCro realizes he easily could die at this point.
If he plays Ancient of War and doesn't Hero Power, but he would Hero Power, so.
Right. Because he plays Zombie Chow and Hero Power.
There's
Maybe
a
not even
Quartermaster, though. Oh, man. StrifeCro has to
He has to heal?
do some math here. I think he does have to heal. Okay, he's at 10.
He's at 10, so he'd be at 11 at the end of the turn. Assuming he doesn't even just attack this 1-2, but doesn't need to.
Yeah, since he's going to kill the 1-2, it means that
Right.
Equality alone won't kill him.
And he is hovering over the heal. That is a superstar sense right there from StrifeCro. I like it.
Alright, good play. Still, of course, threatening a ton of damage, but that Zombie Chow might help get PinpingHo out of range of the Force combo.
Maybe. I mean, there's still 3 targets to get the actual +2 buff. So even if Zombie Chow heals, the most he can go to is 17. So if one of these minions survive, he still dies. Or if he doesn't take care of everything here.
I mean, is there a way to live here? I'm not seeing it.
There's no way to kill your own Pilot Shredder for like an Anoyotron or something, right? No, it looks like PinpingHo's dead and StrifeCro has won game 3.
Yeah, that one copy of combo and Ramp Druid definitely paying off in spades here. Alright, StrifeCro's back in it. Was down 2-0. But he's going to win the 3rd game here.
Yeah. I was thinking if he could have concealed, but I think there's no point in hiding that. Because if you show a Savage Roar at any point, he knows he has Force of Nature. Alright, game 3 is in the books, and StrifeCro is not going to go down without a fight. We go to the blind pick stage and see what these guys can bring to the 2nd stage of, I guess, the strategy point. I think this is where like the format can actually have some strategy based on the lineups.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. The blind picks, or players take a look at each other's lineups, kind of go with what they think is not just the best deck to go with, but the best counter to what they predict their opponent to pick.
Sure.
A lot of mind games in this stage of the format, so should be pretty exciting to see what decks they go with. What do you think StrifeCro is most comfortable with? Mage is my guess.
Yeah, Mage is definitely one of his best decks. I think it was a combination of not having like a good curve or a draw, and then Shaman's getting like a really good Zombie Chow into the Shredders, into like the Fire Elemental.
Yeah.
So and like Lotheb, so it's like, what can you do?
Did we see any bad matchups for PinpingHo's Shaman? Because that is his favorite class. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go with that.
Let's see. There's Druid, there's Handlock, and there's the Mage deck. I know you said that you like Handlock versus Shaman because a lot of
but Shaman players love Shaman versus Handlock.
Exactly,
So.
I guess there's no reason not to pick Shaman here if you're PinpingHo.
Yeah, you might see Shaman versus Mage again. Wouldn't be too surprised.
That'd be cool. I feel like that match, if you played it a few more times, it might go the opposite way. I think Echo of Medivh is always one of those really interesting cards that allows you to break the rules of the game.
Yeah.
You know, get more than one legendary, or play more than 2 cards of like a Doomsday or like something like that. So.
Yeah, and Flame Strike is just so powerful. I mean, that could easily go StrifeCro's way. Just one of the best cards to have against Shaman. So we'll see what they end up actually going with. Not too sure.
So you're saying Shaman versus Mage?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Or maybe Zoo.
He has Paladin, and he also has Zoo. How does the Mage do against the Zoo deck? Because I feel like if it's bad, then maybe Handlock's okay, because Handlock is pretty decent against this field. It's not like
it's gonna struggle against Paladin, I think.
Is it that awful against Paladin?
It's not awful, but it seems tough, right? If they play a BGH 2 Peacekeepers and 2 Equalities, I don't know.
Oh, yikes. Oh, man. Well, he's going to go the slower Taunt Druid versus Zoo.
Now, this actually can go either way. And the thing with Ramp Druid is any matchup you play it against, it can win. but it's completely draw dependent. Once the game starts, the mulligans are over. It's completely out of your hands because you either drew the right half of your deck or you didn't. So it's up to StrifeCro. We'll see if he does get his Wild Growth, Wraths, Zombie Chow, the taunts to follow it all up.
The Senjin.
Yeah, the
Innervates.
You just want to draw stuff in the right order. If you ever have a turn where you're playing Big Game Hunter or you're just hero powering and passing, you're going to have a bad time.
I wasn't really thinking about Druid too much because I know Druid can struggle against all three of these classes, generally speaking. The Paladin can be effective. Well, I guess this is the slower Druid, so maybe the DAP is good against the Paladin.
Maybe he expected PinpingHo to go with Shaman, and he felt like that's his best deck against Shaman.
Okay, fair enough. Even then, I know sometimes the Druid can struggle against Shaman. Just the pressure it builds, and it doesn't have a good clear. But we'll see.
Yeah.
This deck is also difficult for many reasons, but PinpingHo, I mean, he's going to need a better start than that.
It's a pretty good hand from StrifeCro. If PinpingHo doesn't get a clean curve here, this could be a stomp. Oh, that's pretty good. Oh, jeez.
Is that a clean curve?
Well, I mean, it's going to get Innervate swiped, but it's fine. Definitely not bad. Zombie Chow about to die for free. Anytime you play Zombie Chow against an Undertaker, this is exactly what you pray your opponent does not have. Double
1-drop death rattle.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Innervate swipe, huh?
Well known. Alright.
Oh, that's right. They're both gnomes. I was reading a thread. It's like, who won, the goblins or the gnomes? After the month of the expansion, now it's like, I guess the gnomes won.
I haven't seen too many. What's the best goblin?
Goblin Blast Mage, dude.
Oh, that's probably true.
That goblin's insane. I mean, Matter Bomber for the people. He's a people's champion. But
some people. He's not my champion, Frodo.
He's not your champion.
Alright. Well, this game looks great for StrifeCro. That was just such a clean kill. That Keeper was the best card he could have drawn this turn.
Ooh, so now he's got a really nice curve for 2 turns.
Yep.
Yep. Then now the egg will just be a really bad version of Target Dummy.
There is no bad version of Target Dummy.
You're such full of it. You're so full of it, dude.
It's such a good card. You haven't played it, man.
You're right, I haven't played it.
All the combo.
I'm gonna try it. A new article was posted, by the way.
Was it?
On our site, Tempo Storm site, about the Tempo, or about the Mech Rogue, and it has Target Dummy.
I forgot the URL on that one. What was that? It was tempostorm.com. That's what it was. Anyway. Keeper of the Crow comes down. Alright. Senjin's gonna come
Double Senjin's actually pretty good, because I mean, as much as he would like to draw into some of the, like, the 5-drops, at least he has something to do next turn.
Yeah, exactly. Just having a turn 5 play. I mean, once you've slowed the game down this much, it's all about just doing something until you get Ancient War down. And at that point, it's so tough to lose. StrifeCro's about to make a comeback after being down 2-0. This game looks very good for him.
Is there like importance of killing the 1-1 versus the 0-2?
I would kill the 0-2, but
it's a free pickup.
Yeah, I can't think of. It's probably very small benefits either way, right? Like playing around Mortal Coil or stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Maybe he defenders the 0-2.
Okay, there is a way to crash the gates here, but I mean it's not gonna help too much in the long run because there is more where that came from. There's more taunts.
Yeah, Zoo's doing what it can. Harvest Golem, solid pickup, gives him a turn 3 play.
These games always feel so one-sided as the Druid or the Zoo. It's very rare that it's close. It feels like either Zoo blows it out like it usually does, or Druid's able to just somehow run away with the game.
StrifeCro actually has a decision here. There's some merit to Wild Growth hero powering. You kill half the board, you play Ancient War a turn earlier.
Yeah, you drop the board's power from 4 to 2. It's pretty significant.
That's probably what I would do because it's better against Doomguard, which is the worst case scenario. And you gotta expect Zoo to have that next turn. I mean, its hand is empty. What else would it draw?
If he does Doomguard, you have Force of Nature the following turn, though.
When, Dan? Not if.
No.
Must be bugged. Alright, well. Direwolf comes down. Looks like he's gonna fight through Senjin. I think you're gonna see the armor plating on the Harvest Golem here, right? You want to keep the
that seems pretty reasonable.
front half of that
building.
alive.
You do give up your Haunted Creeper. Oh. Guess not.
He's gonna opt to do this instead. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Alright, Force of Nature defensively used. Good old 6 mana Starfall.
Well, if Starfall was even 5, or Force of Nature was 5 mana, it was the same thing as Starfall. It wouldn't have mattered because he floated 1 mana.
That's true.
You're always the pessimist, man. Life is beautiful if you want it to be. You're no longer in Minnesota, man. You're in California.
Yeah, that's true. Whole new state of things to complain about.
Yeah, he's also wearing a fresh new lavender button-up. You guys should compliment him on that.
It's pretty snazzy.
Well,
he does play Owl.
yeah.
Nope.
Not even enough power to push through it, but with the armor plating, it allows him to keep his Dark Iron Dwarf a little bit longer alive.
I think what you do here is just not attack. I think you set up some stuff on the board and just wait a turn. Give yourself another chance to draw Owl. Buff the one health minions so that you're not as vulnerable to swipe. Play Leper Gnome. He's gonna go for the.
No, I think that this play is okay too.
Yeah, this is definitely not bad.
I'm afraid of like the possibility that your opponent has like a faceless manipulator or something. I don't know. Just like you don't want this Ancient of War to be at 5/10.
Yeah, this is definitely less ambitious.
Oh!
Oh boy.
That's crazy. He's got so many taunts. Like he can afford to trade this health. Such a luxury at this point.
Yeah, StrifeCro is just extremely far ahead. I mean, once you deal with Zoo's initial push like that, and you're playing a deck with such powerful taunts to just lock up the game, it becomes so tough to lose.
No, not a bad draw at all. Actually, that's a sick draw. And if he drew Doomguard, oh man, it would have been close. I mean, there's another Ancient of War waiting on the other end, but Direwolf Alpha was a really powerful draw.
Definitely.
Still is. Get
The poor man's Flame Tongue Totem. Doing work.
it's the Hunter Man's Flame Tongue Totem. It's the beast.
I'm surprised he didn't. I guess it doesn't matter too much.
Right.
But
Outcome's about the same. Oh man. Good draw from StrifeCro as well. The Wrath allows him to kill off the Knife Juggler as well. And then slam down the Ancient of War.
I think that is the play we're going to see. He's considering saving the Wrath, letting the Juggler live, drawing card later, but yeah, just take the clean kill here. Alright, and it's a 5/10 taunt against the Direwolf. StrifeCro had a very healthy life total and up 2 cards on the Zoo player.
Classic David versus Goliath story. Oh! He does have an Iron Beak Owl. Snap Call from PinpingHo. I mean, how many more taunts are in this deck?
Well, Sludge Belchers, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Although he is playing Azure Drake, I'm not sure if he does play Belcher, because I don't think we've seen one yet.
Oh my god! Swipe.
Is that good?
Just wrecked him.
Can't tell if that's good. Well, that's it. StrifeCro
PinpingHo.
ties it up 2-2 after being down 2 games to nothing. PinpingHo has to somehow get a win back, but StrifeCro's the one with momentum.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's one of those scenarios where the game felt like it was decided, but Zoo hung in there for quite some time, and now it's come down to Game 5 once more, guys. This is blind pick. They can select any of their decks that they've already played. No elimination, so if they want to play the same exact matchup, they can, but they don't have the knowledge of it. It's just blind pick.
Yeah, I'd like to see Shaman played from PinpingHo. I mean, that deck just seems to be performing very well from him. He's very comfortable with it. It's his favorite class. We just don't get to see a lot of it in tournament play, so it'd be cool to see that again. But, you know, we'll see if they go with the same classes. There's definitely a reason that they picked Druid, and, you know, there's a reason they picked the classes they did the first like for this time around.
Right.
It felt like it just gave them the best
I think
odds of winning.
yeah, Zoo made this a lot of sense for how it's
It has like
off.
no bad matchups. Yeah,
Right,
like
right.
every time you
I
pick
mean,
it.
If it's a ladder style like blind pick, yeah, that's what you queue up Zoo for. 'Cause it's you know it's very efficient. It has a pretty decent matchup across everything. And check this out. I think you called that the Shaman being selected here against Druid to wrap things up.
Honestly, I feel like StrifeCro, this is his best deck against that Shaman, in my opinion. I mean, you get into situations with Ramp Druid where you just have more big threats than they have answers. I mean, yes, Shaman has hexes, but they don't have 10 hexes. They only have 2. So there aren't. It's very easy for Druid to kind of run away with the game by just getting ahead with one big guy like a Druid of the Claw that they need to have the answer for, and then you just keep chaining that into more and more threats. Ancient Allure, of course, is going to be the most important card in this matchup by far. Just going to get him a continuous stream of threats. But Shaman can win.
Yep, they can get the Patient Assassin off the Pilot Shredder.
That's right.
And they can destroy the Ancient of War for
2 hexes and 2 assassins. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
You forgot that, man. That's good stuff. Well, let's see if it ends up becoming the case. Of course, for every time it would be a Patient Assassin, it can't be a Doomsayer. I'm always scared of that. That's not really a good start either for PinpingHo. Zombie Chow single-handedly dissects almost all of what Shaman does early game without having a 1-mana removal spell.
Yeah, definitely a great card to see for StrifeCro. And we haven't seen Lightning Bolts from PinpingHo, so if he doesn't get a Rock Biter, he's not going to have a great answer to that. Maybe he'll be coining Haunted Creeper and then follow that up with a Flame Tongue to take out the Chow. But
he's not on the coin, though. He's going first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, StrifeCro is the... I see 2 cards, and I'm just like...
Gotcha.
Get a little thrown off. 2 swipes and a BGH. That is not very good for StrifeCro.
Right. He tossed away a Keeper of the Grove.
That's surprising. I would have kept the Senjin and tossed the Keeper.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to push for Wild Growth really hard.
Makes sense. Well, that is going to be a pretty solid Power Mace. Taking out Chow. PinpingHo, by playing Haunted Creeper here, is giving StrifeCro the opportunity to hero power one of those spiders on turn 2. He could have just hero powered instead, but I like this play that he made because there's a good chance StrifeCro had the Wild Growth and wouldn't have been able to hero power anyway. Here's the question, do we see Power Mace? We do. Turn 3 Power Mace, turn 4 Shredder is just so powerful.
It creates a 6/5. I mean, who needs Sky Golem when you have the Pilot Shredder buffed a little bit like that?
Yeah. It's a great curve. Are we going to see BGH just dropped? I think it's going to probably be a hero power. Or maybe a cycled Wrath even. Wrath has a lot of value against Shaman. It can take out important protected minions like Mana Tide, Flame Tongue. It's actually a tough decision for StrifeCro. He's got, I think, like 3 solid options here. You can draw a card with Wrath, you can hero power the 1/1, or you can play Big Game Hunter. Well, if he does play BGH, that Power Mace is going to have a good target.
Right.
And he's going to get wrecked, so the key recognizes that. And he is going to hold on to Wrath, use that as removal later, rather than drawing the card, looking for a better play. He's not under too much pressure, though, no reason to rush it.
Yep.
Shredder comes down, and he is just going to attack face.
Dang.
He cares more about the buff.
That's really weak to Keeper of the Grove.
That card that StrifeCro just drew off the top.
Oh, poor PinpingHo.
To be fair, if he didn't make that attack, it would have been weak to Wrath.
Right.
Which StrifeCro did have.
Man, StrifeCro not only just took out the buff, but also killed Patient Assassin.
Do you like Defender of Argus Chow here, or just Belcher?
Belcher's... I think Belcher contests a lot better. Oh.
Hero Power Mana Tide. Okay, I like this too. Because that could have been healing, it could have been taunt, and he got one of them.
Right.
This swipe, though, doesn't get much better than that against Shaman. The only question is, do you coin the hero power?
Well, then you'd be missing out on your next turn to go into double 7-drop.
Yep.
That feels a little bit too good to pass up. I don't know how much the 0/1 threatens you, though. Dang. Is it that important to take it out?
No, you gotta be concerned about Healing Totem coming down and making it an 0-2 again. It's also gonna Give him Flame Tongue Totem value, so your 7-drop's going to be that much less effective. Because PinpingHo is going to have access to 2 more power. He's just going to continue getting Totem value, not really concerned about slamming his 5-drops here. He has Flame Tongue in hand. Putting the Death Rattles on the left. Good Shaman mechanics. I like it.
Okay, well, it's still starting to get to the point where StrifeCro's going to be dropping bombs here.
Mom spaghetti. He could Wrath the Harvest Golem and swipe the Chow, but he's going to opt to charge Drew to the Claw instead. I like it. Very aggressive play. Might just see a Flame Tongue come down here.
Flame Tongue into one of the 5-drops. But what do you use to trade? Is it the
Chow.
Zombie Chow?
Yeah, I would do the Chow. Oh man! Oh, if you play Lotheb, he can't swipe, can he?
No.
For the Belcher instead.
Oh, but if he did play Lotheb, he'd be able to hero power the damage golem and then Big Game Hunter.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's better if you avoided that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this is a problematic thing considering that the Flame Tongue to run, but you can Wrath it. But it does disrupt your natural clean turn of 7 of playing an Ancient of Lore or an Ancient of War. But you do have the Senjin, so... How much power is remaining? You have 7 power?
Yeah, maybe the play is Senjin Wrath. If you swipe this turn, it's just so awkward. 'Cause it's not really... You can't really do anything else beyond that.
No, Big Game Hunter is pretty useless.
Probably have to end up wrathing the one of the minions. In addition to swipe if you go that route.
And not to mention you give your second swipe too. And you have Azure Drakes in this deck. So
Yeah.
I think actually because you have Azure Drakes, you really need to hold on to the swipe.
Yeah. I like this play from StrifeCro. I think it's his best option. Ooh.
Epsilon! That's a card worth Big Game Hunting.
Oh yeah, one of the most satisfying ones too. That Overload punishes so much.
Still wait on it for a while. Shaman's still pretty resilient.
PinpingHo though is just gonna develop a massive board.
There's still a Black Knight in this deck, and he knows it too.
Well, he already has a target in play for it. Doesn't mind giving 2 more.
Sure. He needs to draw for more options. 5, 10, 13 damage. I mean, if I'm PinpingHo, I feel a Lotheb's coming down here and you push, right?
Definitely.
You're pretty close to killing your opponent.
Yeah, he sees that. Lotheb's gonna lock StrifeCro out of any ways to catch up.
I wonder.
Well, okay, so if he puts out, he's got 13 damage with 6 joining the board, so he's got 19.
I'm surprised StrifeCro played Lore there rather than Ancient of War.
Yeah, I also thought that Ancient of War was coming out as well. I think he's afraid of Earthshock or like Hex. I guess the Ancient of War would be a Hex target.
Alright, PinpingHo gets in for a lot.
So if he Ancient of Wars kills off the opponent's Zombie Chow, he'd be at 12.
Does the swipe do anything here? I mean,
That's a good question too. I don't know. It's pretty complicated. If you swipe, the most you can reduce the board damage off is 5 guaranteed.
there's always the piloted Shredder out. Kill Shredder.
Oh, man.
Get Doomsayer. 1.5%.
That's just too unreliable considering you can gain 5 health from Zombie Chow.
Well, you can kill both, right? You can swipe the Shredder.
Right. The Ancient of War, is another 10 health. You can gain 15 effective health here. So if he has 5, 6, 8, 13, 14, 15, and you'd be at 12 health. You'd be at 12 health with an Ancient of Lore. Yeah, I think that's probably his best bet here.
Alright, StrifeCro's banking on PinpingHo not having an Earthshock or a Hex in his last 2 cards. Will he draw one?
Neptulon and... Nope. Harvest Golem.
Alright, I'm excited. This means we get to play with Murlocs. What if he trades the Shredder after doing this?
Oh man, it becomes a Doomsayer?
There it comes. They never check first, Dan. I guess he could have been Mana Wraith.
No, he can use Bluegill and avoid it. He can avoid trading and using a Bluegill warrior. I actually kind of like that. So you push for 8 damage by using the Bluegill.
There it is, no respect.
Oh!
And no justice.
What? No, that is justice. PinpingHo's been getting so unlucky.
He has been, I know.
Right, and then Nat Pagel is like a way to reward himself for all of the toil that he's endured.
Howdy. No, yeah, man. One time, somebody's gonna get Doomsayer wrecked by playing the 7-drop first. That's okay.
Will you be casting it, though? Relishing into RNG? I don't know. Either way, I'm pretty sure StrifeCro is gonna need an Azure Drake. Oh wait, he can't even fully swipe everything down.
And BGH can deal with this Neptulon.
Wait. BGH
swipe is really good.
Crazy! Oh my god!
Yeah.
That is nuts.
It's very good. You can even probably play Shade. You don't have to hero power or anything. Well, you could hero power.
So there's 3 damage on the field. You're at 8 health. Can you do 5? Well, if he has a Murloc plus the... What's the worst case scenario? Murloc plus the Earled Murkai, right? So that would be 3 attack. Unless it's the War Leader, which case that would be 5 attack. So he would die if it was Old Murkai plus the War Leader.
Yeah. But he's already seen 1 Murloc. He knows there's only... Or seen 2 Murlocs.
Yeah. No, he has to kill off play the Shade. Otherwise, he might die to that stupid Murloc combo.
You can
Nat
see
Bagel!
PinpingHo is not happy about this.
Howdy.
Hex right on time.
Not happy? Nat Bagel just got him Lightning Storm!
He's happy about the Pagel. Not happy about the BGH swipe turn.
Are you kidding me? That's so funny.
Oh, this brings me back to dark times and tournaments. Nat Pagel in every deck. Alright.
Good stuff. It's good stuff, Raynad.
I like that it's down now. This is fun when it's off piloted Shredder for sure.
Alright, well, let's see. What does StrifeCro have? He's got 12 mana available to him. That gives him the Black Knight plus Ascension play.
If he's willing to throw away this Innervate, he could cycle Wild Growth first, but I think we are just going to see the Ascension saving the Innervate. I like this a lot better. StrifeCro agrees. He's still got...
Wow, that's a good Pagel!
Yeah, 2 mana. Oh, it's a free Manatide Totem.
Wait, how much damage? Oracle Light Oracle could be lethal. Just draws another Rock Biter.
Oh,
Alright, he's done it! And PinpingHo is going to the semi-finals off of Nat Pagel.
bringing StrifeCro's good run to a halt. Well played by PinpingHo. Wow. Yeah, well played by him. Consistently performing well in a ESL Legendary Series. Keeps getting far. He's really happy for this win.
Well, he
Good
beat
for
one of the
him.
best players in all of North America, too.
Definitely, in the world, yeah. And, doing it with his most comfortable deck, his favorite class, Golden Shaman.
Yeah,
I like it.
Pretty unique deck, too.
Yeah, I'm glad he brought it out.
Yeah.
I was saying I was hoping he'd play it. He did. It worked out for him. Good stuff.
Yeah, well, that was a really fun series and something that I was hoping to see more of. When I first was 2-0, I was a little scared. But StrifeCro goes down, which means we have 2 players of the unknown caliber taking out the invites, and we have 1 person remaining out of the pool of the old guard. We have a Maz coming up against Flybird. So if Flybird wins, that means both Taiwanese players are going to be going to the semifinals. But also more important, that means Savise is the only person that has any kind of notoriety in the current Western scene remaining.
Definitely. Well, this the favorite keeps. There's just a lot of upsets basically happening in this tournament so far. I'm excited to see the last match. Should be exciting. Maz versus Flybird. I guess we'll get to that in a few minutes, right? Or
yeah, I mean, we probably have to make sure Maz's wake is pretty late in Hong Kong. No, that's another thing too. These players who are over in Asia, the hours are atrocious for them.
Yeah.
It's like 4 to 5 a.m. and they're playing, and these guys are just they're qualifying and they're staying up. They're really trying their hearts out and working really to their best ability to try to qualify.
I'm glad to see it's paying off. They're doing well. Not many mistakes at all. I haven't seen any, honestly, from those players. So yeah, good to see them go far.
The people also working hard to bring you the best broadcast are the people that make this possible. It's our sponsors at Newegg Esports. If you check out the link at the bottom, there's a lot of discounts for cool stuff. Cooler Master, as well as Western Digital and Crucial. That's memory, storage, etc. You know, I have a Cooler Master tower for my computer. It's good stuff. And of course, Plantronics is also signed with us. They're giving away 2 rig headsets as well as Hearthstone Expert Packs. And if you guys want to get in on that goodness for a classic core set, you'll find out more information at the link during this commercial break. We're going to take a few minutes. When we come back, more action here at Week 7 of the Legendary Series.